and it looked like new information has been revealed about Caitlin Clark's future contract with the Indiana.
What if I told you that Clark had already altered the regulations pertaining to women's basketball? Is the rookie contract going to take a radical turn? The Indiana Fever made a revelation recently. Unexpected new information regarding her future, and it's a big step for the WNBA that extends beyond merely data. Could Clark compel the league to break wage records and dramatically alter its rules? The WNBA is the subject of this tale. Future rather than a single individual. You'll understand why the sports industry is discussing Clark's Steel. World by the end of this video.
Telling everybody, Caitlin Clark's new contract is already in the works, bruh. The Indiana Fever is not wasting no time with making sure they dot their I's and cross all the T's when it comes to keeping Caitlin Clark on this Indiana Fever basketball.
The Indiana Fever are under pressure to keep Clark on the club due to her undeniable impact on the WNBA. It is clear that her rookie salary of just $76,535 falls short of her actual value. The league is dealing with a situation never seen before. One individual who generates more revenue, attention, and excitement more than whole squads combined. In the background, they may be working on a groundbreaking contract. Based on the heated camp's recent revelations, however, the worst thing is that they are experiencing issues due to antiquated league regulations.
You know, she's still on a rookie contract for the next couple of years. But one thing I can tell you that I know definitively is that the organization is working on a massive contract for Caitlin Clark's future contract.
The figures are accurate. This season, Clark is in charge of 26% of all WNBA activities. Imagine a rookie carries over 25% of the league's revenues on her ERS upon her college graduation. Throughout 1 out of every 6 tickets was sold. The WNBA is strongly connected to her name. She is more than just a phenomenon, just a player, and the Fever is aware that they cannot afford to lose her.
We know Caitlin Clark is ultimately going to be the person to yay or nay whatever solution they come up with. So they got to do everything in their best interest to get ahead of this thing way before it ever comes up. So word on the street is that the Indiana Fever is putting together proposals and putting together different things under the WNBA rules that they can for Caitlin Clark's new contract.
This season alone, the Fever attracted more than 300,000 fans to their games, a record for any WNBA team. Has achieved this, with Clark at the top of the charts. Sales of merchandise rose by 500%. Her shirt is selling out before it can be restocked by the league. Additionally, viewership increased by an amazing 300%, with 45% of those viewers focusing especially on Fever games. These numbers are applicable to more than just basketball.
This is about getting Caitlin Clark's new contract done. They get her contract done, seal and deliver the future of this.
However, this is the issue. Regardless of Clark's worth, the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement. The Fever is imprisoned under the current CBA by a system that was put in place long before a player of her caliber came, which caps rookie salaries and restricts what organizations can give. Clark may make a maximum of $241,000. Conversely, that is insignificant. Clark is aware of the Fever from the items she is bringing in, and the league, but the regulations don't change. As a result, everyone is frantically looking for answers based on the data that was public. The Fever is looking into every option to make sure Clark stays in Indianapolis. They are thinking about innovative incentives. Regarding anything from performance bonuses to sponsorship tie-ins. However, even these attempts feel like bandages on a much larger wound. There are serious problems with the league's pay scale, considering Clark's outstanding achievements. Highlighting how antiquated it genuinely is. It is important to acknowledge the economic influence she has had on Indianapolis. According to sources, her mere presence has brought in an estimated $36 million, the same amount as hosting significant events like the. Not only does Clark's NC Final Four victory reduce the city's fever, but he also makes less money than many. Entry-level jobs in corporations. This gap is unavoidable and is igniting a long overdue discussion. The rookie contract for Clark. In contrast to the NBA, earning $338,000 over 4 years is absurd. The first selection in the NBA draft of 2024. In his first year alone, Victor Wanyama has made $13 million, over 40 times more than Clark would have made on her debut season. This disparity is startling. Raises important questions. The Fever has a brief window of opportunity due to the CBA's 2025 expiration date. To push for changes that would allow them to Clark with a contract that matches her achievements. However, Clark is in greater danger the longer this continues because time is not on their side, and transformation takes time. Perhaps look for other options. How can the WNBA expect to attract in and retain top players when why do players in a rival team have such few financial incentives? League abroad or perhaps relocating overseas. The most incredible aspect of the WNBA is the ripple effect. Clark has accomplished more than that. Her IT is related to what she stands for in women's basketball. Generally, she has demonstrated that there is a market for this sport and that spectators will come and pay money if given the chance. But if the league doesn't change, it might waste the momentum she's gained in this. A fresh reality. Let's face it, this isn't just a WNBA issue. It has to do with athletics, the subject of how we regard women's. A societal issue is sports and the athletes who commit their life to them. For them, life is vital. How can a player do that? Who makes less money than the average American despite making such a significant contribution to her league household income? Clark's tale is a microcosm of a bigger problem that needs to be addressed right away. Clark needs to be secured for the long term by the WNBA, but a structure that wasn't created with players in mind hinders them, like her. They are making a great effort to find a solution, but the chances are stacked against them, according to the information that was made public. If the WNBA isn't ready to, the Fever might have trouble keeping their best player. They cannot afford to incur the risk of changing its substance and compensation structure. The years ahead will be crucial for both the future of the league and Clark's career. In addition to being a once-in-a-generation, Caitlin Clark is a walking brand player, a commercial force, and an outstanding example of women's basketball's potential. However, given the league's current constraints, it's uncertain if the WNBA will be able to quickly adapt to guarantee her destiny or whether it will enable her to avoid its grasp. Let's examine why this scenario is so urgent. Beyond the court, Clark has a significant impact. We are talking about a player who has increased TV viewing across the league by 300%. 45% of the WNBA's broadcast value comes from just Fever games. This is caused by more than simply her ability to play basketball, because to her captivating playstyle, self-assurance, and the Fever are not just dependent on their unique presence, they depend on her not just to win games but also to maintain the group. Having a talent like Clark is crucial in a league where financial difficulties are common. But here's the problem: Jersey enjoys a huge advantage in league retail sales and is consistently sold out. The Fever are unable to just open their wallets and give her money, check her actual worth. Even the most advantageous things that teams can provide are limited by the collective bargaining agreement of the WNBA. Players, as well as salary caps. The leaked material from the Fever's camp shows how desperate they are to keep her. Rumor has it that they are looking into every option for rewarding Clark. It would justify her stay. Bonuses for equitable performance in the team's support partnerships, all of these options are available. However, they might not be sufficient. If the league wants to keep a player of such caliber, it must intervene and alter its regulations. Clark's standard, and it's not just about Clark, her circumstances serve as a gauge for the future of the WNBA because if it can't find a way to pay its best players fairly, they may leave for other leagues or chances. This is genuine. It's not merely speculation. During their off-seasons, athletes like Diana Taurasi, Breanna Stewart is well known for her performances throughout Europe and Asia, where they may make substantial more. It is impossible to overstate Clark's impact on the economy, earning more money than they do in the WNBA. In her first season, she earned $36 millions for the city of Indianapolis alone. This includes reservations for hotels, in addition to ticket sales, restaurant revenue, and local business growth. As Indianapolis, a city that has long taken pride in this, losing Clark, a hub for athletics, would be tragic.